I'm just going to move over to my YouTube because everybody's here. Because everybody is here right now. Okay. So are you guys here right now on YouTube? Can someone tell me? So glad that everybody's here. All right, you guys. So, hey, oh, look at all these new names. So for my people, oh, we see you. Yeah. Okay, you guys. So here we are. Just to let you know, this is fantastic. First, let me give you a housekeeping thing. Let me give you housekeeping. And then we'll jump into what we're going to talk about. Okay. Oh, you're seeing me in stereo. Courtney. Do I see you, Courtney, here? Okay. Now, oh, thank you, Stephanie. All right, you guys. So here we are. We are going to, I should put a light on probably. We are going to talk about things happening right now in the space. We're going to talk about things happening. Let me get some light. Hold on, everyone. Let me get some New England. Oh, no, that's too bright. That is way too bright. The snow. We are going to talk about, so it's a Friday afternoon news dump. This is my Friday afternoon news dump. And welcome from TikTok. Welcome from Patreon. Welcome from Substack. Let me do housekeeping really quick because technically we're starting in 6 minutes. Okay. Technically we're starting in 6 minutes. But if you're just seeing me for the first time, hello, welcome. Kanye. Oh gosh. Okay, Steph. Okay, so now we have even Kanye. I know I saw Kanye earlier. I want to introduce you to my lives on YouTube. Prior to this, they were on Patreon only, unlisted, and I would have weekly lives there, which was so much fun and had a great community. And so I'm going to be continuing that. However, I've made the switch from Patreon to YouTube. So any of my Patreon people right now, move on over to not to YouTube, to Substack. You can find me under Molly McPherson, and then my Substack is the PR Breakdown. My podcast goes there. All my content is going to go there. So I'm going to keep all my socials, obviously, but my weekly YouTube lives where we dish everything going on in PR was only for subscribers and Patreon. And now I'm opening up to everyone. Okay. So I will be doing weekly lives. Elizabeth, thank you for the transition note. Yes. So Stephanie, Substack, just like Patreon, there's a free membership. So there'll be a weekly post once a week that you'll get from me. You'll get a link to my podcast, which I do weekly. You'll see the Ask Molly question once a week. Now, what is Ask Molly, you may ask? My not side hustle, I don't get paid for it, but everybody comes to me because, no surprise, I'm very, very good at giving PR for people advice. My daughter, Rory, my oldest daughter, is my highest praise testimonial. She tells all of her friends, just talk to my mom. Just talk to my mom. My mom has the best advice. And if any of you are moms out there, you know that's high praise when your daughter tells you that. But I'm really, really good at relationship advice, colleagues, any type of relationship that you have, because it's all the same principles as crisis management with my clients. So I'm moving to, well, thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it. So I'm just kind of adding that feature because I really want to be, I really want to be a therapist, but my friend Doug tells me, he said, but Molly, you can't help other people. You can only help people one-on-one if you're a therapist because everything's private. So I thought, oh, good. This is my way to help people. So in the paid Substack, that's what you're going to get. So Ask Molly is going to be a weekly feature where just give me your problems. We could talk PR, like we could do all this other stuff, like celebrity stuff. But I want to talk about the personal stuff. Way better hair. Thank you. I finally got an empty nester. The daughter praises everything, right, Stephanie? You know exactly. And you know exactly. I have 3 daughters and a son. So I know what it means to be criticized by your kids. All right. So now we're coming into our live stream. Welcome to everyone who's here. I'll do my last promo ad and then we'll start. Technically, this live stream was starting at 3, but everybody in the chat was going, "Where are you? Why are you not here?" So I'm still on TikTok live at the moment, and then I'm going to be transferring over. So my TikTok live, thanks, Ellen. My TikTok live was all about, I was just coming in about Taylor Swift because I noticed on TMZ this week that there have been multiple posts about, oh, yes. Oh, Jessica, I'm going to say this to you. That there was a strategic move by Taylor Swift. So this live was going to be about that. But then as soon as I got on, I noticed a lot of people asking about Jack Schlossberg. So his socials are done. So we can talk a little bit about Jack. We can talk a little about the Grammys. Jill, is there a TMZ bias towards Blake? We could talk about TMZ all day. And I'm going to give you my feedback because I've had a crazy media month. The media I've done is insane, and the media I've turned down, insane. Been in New York City twice doing things. Now all these documentaries, they're making all these documentaries about Taylor and Blake, not Taylor and Blake, Blake and Ryan. So I'm getting all these requests for this. If you have Hulu, you can see me on the Hulu documentary produced by ABC News. I was on Nightline last Friday, and then I'm told. And then right now you can watch the documentary by ABC. I went into ABC Studios News a couple weeks ago, and Juju Chang interviewed me, and it was a great interview. And I love Juju Chang for people who know her. Oh, Taylor, you watched it. Great. The Impact episode, you saw it, Simone. Great. It's called Nightline X times, Impact. And they did a really, really good job. And I watched it with my guy, Greg. He's a news anchor. And you would think that he would know everything about Blake and Ryan being with me. And he knew nothing about it. So he watched it and I said, "What do you think?" And he thought it was really, really good. He thought it was really good because it gives a good background. And then Jessica asked, "Will the lives with special guests still be free or paid version?" Jessica, that's a great question. We are moving the guests to the free version. Everyone's going to get everyone. So my next one, so anyone who follows me knows Dr. Abby is phenomenal because I bring in a therapist. She is a trained therapist. She's out in California. She works with celebrities. She does not, like me, she doesn't give up any of the goss or any of the information that she gets. I do the same. But I might give you case studies, what I've kind of dealt with. But she broke down Taylor and Ryan before, and anyone who was on that call knows on that live, it was amazing. Dr. Abby is coming. Dr. Abby is coming on the live, so it'll be open to everyone. So definitely. And then I have Dr. Abby, and then next week I have Benjamin, the flirt coach. So he's going to do a special Valentine's Day one. Okay. All right. Where are my glasses from? I forget. All right. So now let's jump into the YouTube live. So TikTok, just so you know, I'm going to stay on for a bit, but all the action is on YouTube. You can find me, Molly McPherson, on YouTube, at Molly McPherson YouTube, and you will find this live. Okay. And let's start asking the questions. So, Dana is asking the name of the show on Hulu. I think it's just called Blake and Ryan. If you look it up, it's by ABC News, and it went up 2 weeks ago or a week ago. I think it's still in their top 10 because friends of mine, people are telling me that they've seen it. So it's definitely there right now, and you can watch it and you can let me know what you think. I wasn't thrilled with the angle that they did. Like I wish. Because Juju sat in one chair and I wish I would have sat in her chair because it would have been my better angle. So I think my angle looks off, but you can let me know. All right. So let's talk about, Travis and Trump, that's one thing. Taylor, thank you so much. I'm going to heart that because I love that. Okay. So let's just jump into Taylor. Okay. Because that was the whole point of me doing this live, was about Taylor Swift. So I noticed on TMZ this week that there was a post I should have put it up. I should have had it up ahead of time on TMZ about just about Taylor Swift, right? The first one I saw was saying in the headline, "I'm not your dragon," in reference to found out in Discovery and Justin Baldoni's side leaking all this information out there, that Ryan Reynolds summoned Taylor Swift to their penthouse. Blake Lively was there, and then they summoned Justin Baldoni. And that's where Ryan Reynolds excoriated him, like absolutely dressed him down. And it was very tense. So it's all in the legal papers. Taylor Swift was there. Taylor Swift has a song and it ends with us. And everyone knows that they're buddy-buddy. Now, likely was she there to leverage power against Justin and intimidate him? Yes. I talk about it in my podcast this week, the PR breakdown, about power moves. I talk about Donald Trump, Ryan Reynolds, and Jay-Z using Blue Ivy, which I 100% think he's doing. To do it, these are demanding, controlling people, and I think, like, Ryan manipulated Taylor. I mean, she may have gone willingly, maybe. I could give her not give her the benefit of the doubt, because that means she was bullying Justin Baldoni. But so Justin Baldoni mentioned it, and I'll let you know, like, I found out, like, I've had insiders from close to Justin give me this scoop on stuff. But I'll tell you, it wasn't anything I should say this. They told me things I didn't know, but my opinion did not sway me. My opinion has been locked in since the second I started following this in August. I wrote a Forbes article about it. I may have written another one. I've done podcasts about it. And then when Blake filed those civil charges in the civil complaint in December, days before Christmas, I went, I know what's behind it. And that's coming to fruition. So now Blake Lively steps out and says, you need to remove me from this kind of dragon Game of Thrones piece. Now, TikTok, I am going to log out now. I'm sorry. Come on over and join me on YouTube, okay? At Molly McPherson on YouTube. All right, bye for now. Okay, now we're all here together. All right. Anyway, but saying that Taylor's not so innocent. Yeah. So we don't know. So Taylor absolutely could have been a part of the gang, ganging up on Justin Timberlake, on Justin Baldoni. Maybe, that she knew exactly what was going on if she was there. But her publicist, Tree Payne, I don't know, directly or, someone on her team 100% reached out to TMZ, allegedly. But I believe 100% reached out to TMZ. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because there's a post a couple days ago, yesterday, and then another one today, okay, saying that Blake's not allowed to be in the suite for the Super Bowl. And the reason why, Taylor the Dragon, exactly. Will you pull across any of your old ones to YouTube, like with Dr. Abby? No, those will probably still stay because people paid for those, so I'm going to keep them there. Ryan, your second Canadian Ryan. That is so funny. I can't believe Taylor's always the victim. Isn't that funny? I know, but yeah, I don't know if it's victim as much as she just wants to get out of Dodge on this one, because she doesn't want to be dragged in and suffer the legal consequence, right? Okay, so do you think it's possible BL has evidence, but holding her cards close to the vest? Wondering if your insiders have a clue to her evidence. So they're not going to know. Well, I'll say what insiders told me from the Justin side is they knew what Blake's team was doing. Like, they knew they could spot what was happening, but also probably in this world, and I know this, like, reporters don't give up sources. They don't give up sources. But a reporter will go to Justin's PR person, for instance. And now to explain too, Justin's team, his publicist, Jennifer Abel, is his publicist. And he apparently, I was told that they've known each other since high school. That's what my insiders told me today. And she's always been there. But after the premiere in August of It Ends With Us and Deadpool, I think it was a week later, maybe, if I remember correctly, because I did a post on it. He picked up Melissa Nathan from the agency group. Now, the agency group is spun off from another agency based out of New York. A number of the people there, a couple women, moved with Melissa Nathan to form the agency group, or TAG. So the agency group got sued along with Jennifer Abel. Now, there was another PR firm involved. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking it. Was she Jennifer Baker? I can't remember. I'm blanking it now. That is also involved in this. And they chose the wrong side right out the gate. And they were able, because of this court case, they were able to get into Jennifer Abel's phone. I think it was Jennifer Abel. I'm not sure if that's public or not. I don't know if people said it or not. I don't know. But that's why the New York Times used the text from the inside, and they graphically kind of chose what to put on there. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, Dawn was asking, yeah, do you think Beale has evidence? So I don't think that at this point that Blake Lively has any evidence that she's holding close to her vest, because she is in such a reputational free fall right now, along with Ryan Reynolds, that if she did, we would have seen it by now. What she didn't realize is everything that probably Justin has. And honestly, it's Ryan Reynolds. Well, let me see a quote. Let me see if I can pull. Hey, Danielle. Let me see what Danielle's saying. Danielle, the person who dubbed this the Bixie, and she was right. How crazy is this? Ryan's emotional issues could have easily triggered the demise of his and Blake's careers. Danielle's got it. And I've said this from the beginning, and I've said this to every reporter too. And I also tell them it's like the subtext when I ever do these media interviews, because they ask me my questions. I said, I'll give you my answers, but I'm first going to tell you the subtext of my answer, because they all came to me initially with angles about PR and how the agency group used PR in a very wanton, reckless way. That it was a PR machine and it was retaliatory, like Blake Lively was saying in her court case. And I push back on that with every single reporter. There was one reporter, and I don't know, from a pretty big publication and outlet, I should say, and I haven't seen their story. And I was telling them, your angle, I didn't say this direct, but I just said, I'm not buying into your angle at all. That's not it. I said, that's not it at all. Blake and Ryan's side wants you to think that's the reason. It's the PR, and the retaliatory PR is the red herring. So, which I agree with Danielle said. I think Ryan Reynolds, he's very demanding. He broke my Alanis Morissette's heart. She created good music out of it. But Scarlett Johansson has said that he's very demanding, very controlling. Blake Lively is younger, I think 10 or 11 years younger. If you were on the lives with Dr. Abby, she's coming back, by the way, in February. We talked about the Ryan Reynolds factor. His father was a police officer, did not have a good relationship with his father, which Ryan Reynolds admits that he didn't have a good relationship with his father. Complicated. And he's very demanding. And that's what we see. Any chance Blake great question. Any chance Blake actually shows up with Taylor at the game? If I were a betting gal, I would say no. I would say no, because that would be the distraction of distractions, for one. And this is not about Blake. It's about Travis, and it's about Travis and Taylor. And she's going to be in the family. She's going to be in the family suite and everything. Plus, Blake doesn't want to show up in public. She doesn't. I saw a clip of her going into, I think, a fashion show, and she just looked tense, and she should look tense when you see your career spiraling, your reputation spiraling like that. So I would be shocked. And the reason why I say no, that she's not going to show up, that there's no way that she's going to show up, it's because of the strategically placed TMZ drop. We had it yesterday and we had it today. And we had it at the end of the week, kind of little Friday news dumpy, but just putting it out there. So the Grammys was at the beginning of the week. Now, if Taylor Swift was a Grammy winner, let's say it was a Taylor sweep and everything was about Taylor Swift, she would not have said anything about Blake. There would have been people asking about Blake. She would have walked by, and then all the headlines would have said, Blake, Taylor ignores or blows off Blake. Taylor refuses to talk about Blake. The narrative would have started anyway. So that's what I think they were doing if she won the Grammys, if she was a big winner. She wasn't. So she was just kind of the girl bopping around the audience, cheers to Jay-Z. Massive misstep by Taylor on that one. That's a weird hill to be on. But Taylor's just bopping around being Taylor. And she was photographed, she's wearing red, of course, and she had her little T charm, a little charm on her leg, T for Travis, maybe T for Taylor. The point is we don't know. And that's exactly the point because we're supposed to talk about it. And then she has the Super Bowl. So she has Sunday to Sunday. And there's no room for Blake in that Sunday. So I think that was 100% strategic. Oh, hey, Herb. Hello. Tree doesn't want anyone dragging Taylor's name. Exactly. And Taylor does not want any legal nonsense. Will she be deposed? That's why they do not want Taylor. No, Blake and Ryan do not want to go to trial. They do not want to go to trial because Taylor Swift is not going to go all in on someone who doesn't have the reputational credit anymore. They don't. Oh my, it's killing me. Hey, Lisa, welcome. RSF, Taylor only does stuff to benefit herself. Well, that's the nice way of saying that is that she's very strategic. If you don't like Taylor, then you could say, yeah, she does it to benefit herself. It stole the tree. Love that. I can't see her doing that without having him sign an NDA. She locks everything down. Having who sign an NDA, Amanda? I'd be curious. Check the Sony executive article talking about Blake. The same date Ryan and Blake gave the statement to Justin. I think I know which one you're talking about. Oh, hey, Liz from Minnie. If we pay, will we have access to all the content? 100%. Yes. You'll have access to all the archival content. Yeah. Hey, Beverly from Pensacola. It's so nice down there. The irony of Ryan Reynolds' face as soon as I opened the live was for Mint Mobile. Hello, algorithm. Someone asked on the TikTok live, will Mint Mobile drop Ryan? No, because he's a part owner. I think he owns 33% of Mint Mobile. Why have there been so many conflicting articles about the state of Taylor and Blake's friendship? That's the reason why. Because Taylor Swift, in my opinion, is actively removing herself and distancing herself from Blake. I had to watch the ad with Ryan Reynolds before I got into your live. Okay. So Meg, you're exposing yourself that you don't pay for YouTube Premium. That's okay. But isn't that funny? The algorithm. Hey, Louise, is she involved in it? Blake probably talked to her when everything was happening. I honestly, okay. I don't know this, but this is my thing, my thoughts. I think Blake and Ryan, I think Ryan said to Blake, get Taylor over here. Or they scheduled that appointment when Taylor was in town, so she would be in the room when it happened. Now, did Blake know did Taylor Swift know Justin was going to come up and be dressed down? We don't know. I think she probably knew. I mean, she was there. But no one would have ever guessed it would get this big. And Ryan Reynolds certainly had no idea that the public would turn on them. He had no idea. Give me a break. Taylor hasn't done anything wrong. Blake is trying to leverage a relationship. You should be able to see that, Molly. Jill, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Taylor did anything wrong at all. Taylor is being strategic right now. Being in TMZ is a strategic move by her team, by Taylor Swift's team. And if there's one thing I've always said about Taylor, she's got the best strategic PR out there out of any celebrity, hands down, I think, or at least I can't say necessarily the person, but the moves. I mean, Jesus, look at her. And I'm not saying she did anything wrong, but I will say we don't know if she was in on the dress down with Ryan and Blake, and she was just supporting her friend. Because maybe Blake was saying, this guy harassed me, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe Blake told Taylor more in the beginning. Who knows? The bad guy in all this is Ryan. All to try to snatch the rights to a movie Colleen never wanted to be a rom-com. Just wow. Yeah. That whole Colleen Hoover piece, because I work in the publishing. I don't work in publishing as a crisis manager. I work with publishing clients. So I have more familiarity with the industry than the average cat out there. And for Colleen Hoover, This is also a nightmare for her. This is a nightmare for her because her title is now not only her title, but all her stuff. Anything she does is going to have the stink of this. Hey, Dallas, Tree has carefully curated Taylor's image. She's not going to let BL blow it up. You know what, Dallas? You've got it. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Taylor. That's what I was saying. Jones work. Yep. That's exactly what it was. So let me go to the bottom here so I can get more real time here. I never knew Justin Baldoni and Sabrina. Jessica, I bet you just informed everyone on this live of the same thing, including me. Even if she's a godmother to their children, businesses builder, you got that. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. Is it possible to salvage BL's career? No, I think her career, Olivia, is going to be fine. And I think Ryan's going to be fine too. But the damage comes with the just the reputational stick. I want to find like a good word for this. And I don't know what it is, but it's kind of the wickiness of it all, because this will be on the Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively wiki page until their publicists take it down, right? Because Wikipedia pages are made by contributors and editors. They put it up, but publicists can get their hands in there and fix it up. Alec Baldwin is a good example of that. If you want information on the Rush shooting, you don't go to Alec Baldwin's Wikipedia page. But this is just going to follow them for a very, very long time. Another way that it's going to follow them is I think Ryan Reynolds is going to have to change his persona, or his persona of the talent, the quippy, sardonic, sarcastic guy. It's just not going to work It's not going to work anymore. And I saw this on TikTok. I don't know who the creator is, but he said Ryan Reynolds' persona is just a calmer Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura. And you know what? I thought, I love that. I absolutely love that. I love that. Jessica. So my podcast this week, the PR Breakdown podcast, I talk about Ryan Reynolds' pep walk. Okay. Look no further than that pep walk for the finger and where to point it. It is Ryan. I'm telling you, it is Ryan Reynolds. I have 2 podcast episodes that go deep into this. The first one, and these are just in the last month, talking about what I think is a timeline of events of exactly what happened. This is all because of Ryan. And it didn't just start in December. We're going back to August actually it goes back to when they were filming. But Ryan Reynolds has been trying to control this since August. And this is a mess. Now, Catherine, great question. Why use TMZ specifically for this article? Now, I can say this. I've worked with TMZ a few times. I've been on TMZ. So I've done 2 lives that have been that went on their program, their syndicated program. And I was also interviewed by Harvey Levin for a primetime special. And Harvey and I did not agree. When he was asking me questions, he was leading me down this path. And I said, I can't do it. I can't agree with him. It was the Kevin Costner episode. He wanted me to side with Kevin Costner. And it would be like me siding with Ryan Reynolds. I can't. Because why? Because Kevin Costner's side, likely, I have no proof of this, but I'm just basing it off of this interview, was feeding all the information. Because Christine, his wife, Baumgartner, she has no power. It's all Kevin Costner. And I think it's funny. Who can show me? Let's do this in the chat real quick. Who is the person that Kevin Costner tried to put himself with? That was total publicity. But anyway, you use TMZ specifically because they have reach. Okay. They have feelers everywhere. And publicists, speed dial. Boop, 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 boop. And they'll take your narrative, whatever it is. You remember Joe Jonas? Remember that? Remember the Friday news dump of Labor Day weekend, 2023, when my Kyle, KMR, and I were both talking about Joe Jonas at the same time, talking about the same thing at the same time. And I was talking about it from a PR perspective, and Kyle was talking about it from a TMZ perspective. Well, not just TMZ, because people from the Joe Jonas side was trying to feed Kyle stuff. Okay. And that is what happens to me too with this whole case. People are trying to feed me stuff. So what time is it? 3:22. This is great, you guys. I love your questions. I think Colleen will be okay, though. She's huge in publishing and has a massive, Lyra, I'm going to say Lyra. I agree with you. She's huge in the publishing world. There's no doubt about it. And her titles are, she was self-published. And then she got picked up big time, and now streamers picking her up, movies, all of it. But the problem is it still taints the brand and it taints the trust. And she's like a huge author. So, so again, she's kind of like a Blake and a Ryan and a Justin. Like, are they going to lose everything? No, they're not. But it's wobbly enough if you paint it with there's like a different patina on you, and it just allows for somebody new to come up and be better and more exciting, then it will give more space for the next Colleen Hoover to come in. There was a blind about Hoover filing a lawsuit against BL and R for unkept promises for something. Did you see that? Now, no, I haven't, but I will tell you, as someone who works with crisis management and publishing, I am in it. Like, I'm in it weekly. I am in it. So I know this world. I would not be surprised if Colleen Hoover would do that. I would not be surprised at all. I personally think that Colleen Hoover was pressured, coerced into joining the Blake Ryan side. I really do. I don't think she necessarily just chose to do it. I think there was some pressure there and coercion there. And it could have been from Sony. It could have been like wherever. But don't forget that Colleen Hoover's story, it ends with us, is a personal story. She started as a self-published author, and like a lot of self-published authors, she was giving of herself. Like, she opened up her personal story, her mom's story, and Colleen was, the child in that story. And that's where a lot of self-published authors get their start and get their popularity, because they connect, people connect with their stories. That's what this story was about. There's something to be said for Colleen Hoover giving that story to Justin Baldoni, to trusting Justin Baldoni with that story. And Justin Baldoni, who brands himself, like he says it, he brands himself as someone who understands the female, or not understands the female side of it, but respects it and wants to raise women's voices. I believe that's part of his persona. I really do. Now, but he also admits that's the commercialization of it too, which I have to admit, I respect him for that. I do. That's why this case never just held a lot to me. So anyway, but yeah, I do think there might be something there. I'm wondering the same. Oh, will he have a career? Yeah, everyone's going to have a career. Everyone is going to have a career, but it's going to change their persona, and it's going to change relationships, and it's just going to change projects that they get. Because remember, Ryan Reynolds has a lot of money. He's in football. He's, soccer. He's in Mint Mobile. He sold aviation gin. I can't remember. I had to remember for my Forbes article. 33 million. I can't remember. I mean, Ryan has so much money. He'll be fine. He gets so much money to speak at corporate events. He will be fine. But the challenge for Blake and Ryan too is this is something that's going to follow them for a long time, and they're going to have to deflect it. You never want to have to deflect something when you're in the public eye. It is so incredibly difficult to deflect. Jewel. No, not Jewel. The Kevin Costner question. It was not Jewel. That was earlier. And it's funny that you said that, Cindy. When I was doing the interview with TMZ, the primetime special about Kevin Costner, that's when he started hooking up with Jewel, or we started hearing about Jewel. Did Blake Lively sign a prenup? Oh, well, if she was the Baumgartner, like to Kevin Costner, no, but she did. She was already a celebrity. She 100%, she's a Nepo baby, 100%. Her parents would never do that. Louise is correct. It is J-Lo. It is J-Lo. Do you remember that? Remember seeing the Kevin Costner J-Lo? It all happened at once and then it went away. Hey, Nola. Yes. Love this question. Have you ever regretted helping someone after realizing too late that they were in the wrong? Yeah, that would be called my life. Personally, yes. But in my work, the answer is yes, but not as much as you would think, because I tend to steer clear. Like if I know, like there was one person who wanted to hire me, I'm going to say not affiliated with, but a part of the bigger story about Diddy. And I'm like, I don't want. And even though it was someone who I believed and should be helped, I didn't want to get involved. I didn't. So they ended up not doing it, which was. Do you think this will lead to the end of the BLRR relationship? I think that relationship would have come to an end regardless. I think Blake would have been fed up. It may have been longer because Ryan has a lot of money and a lot of power. So, there's an argument that she might want to stick it out. But I don't know. I don't see him being fun to be around. No, JD, I have not talked about Travis yet. What time is it? 3:28. What if BLR and JB come out together, united front against PR? Then you will see me go. Against BLRR and JB. It seems like JB wanted to be their friend before all this went down. I think, okay, Kelly, I am not going to disagree with you on that. But I don't think he so much wanted to be friends as much as he wanted to be accepted, because anything that you've read about Justin and this movie, he really was a filmmaker. He wasn't doing this to be buddies. I mean, it certainly helps to be a part of that whole crew and the Taylor crew and all that. I mean, Ryan and Blake are powerful. They all shared the same agent at WME. I mean, they shared the agency. But everything from the discovery tells me that he just wanted to do things, have a good relationship. And I think the BL-JB relationship got a little, close. Is it Blake's team who's trying to counter Tay's narrative? Why? What do you mean by that? Is it Blake's team? You mean about what I'm saying about TMZ? No, because Taylor Swift dropping, let's just say it's a rumor, but if it's a rumor or not, distancing herself from Blake. Now, it doesn't mean she's distancing herself as a friend. I'm sure Taylor is still talking to Blake. I'm sure. And maybe Taylor's saying, I have no idea why this is happening. I don't know. I never said it. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Who knows? But Taylor does not want to be dragged into this, and she has every right not to be dragged into it. I don't blame her. Now, if she was fully participatory in the bullying of Justin Baldoni in that penthouse, then she deserves to get a little bit of the blowback, because she put herself there. But she is definitely distancing herself now. And there's no way. I mean, what do you guys think? Was Justin Baldoni ever going to come and connect with Ryan and Blake? He doesn't need to, because he's so much on top right now. He just doesn't need to. Not at all. I just think Justin wanted to be on good terms with everyone. That's a great way to say it. I agree with you. Well said. Well said. It will be well said. Well said. It will be noticeable this year at the Super Bowl that Blake isn't next to Taylor again, adding to the drama. I agree. I if I were in Vegas, I'd put all my odds. There's no way Blake Lively is showing up there. On a personal, am I a Swiftie? I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie by virtue of age, and just by virtue of age and just musical taste. I don't mind her. Like, I like her music. My daughter Rory. I mean, I have kids in their 20s. There's a lot of Taylor Swift music that I like. I respect her as an artist, as a business person. But I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie. I think people earn the right to call themselves Swiftie, and that wouldn't be me. I heard a rumor that Blake is pushing the narrative she'll be with Tay at the Super Bowl. Well, TMZ quashed that right away. As of today, that's been quashed by TMZ /Trippy. Probably. We know these people, right? I'm guilty. I'm guilty of the same thing. I hate conflict. I hate conflict, which is why I'm a conflict manager because I hate conflict. I am the Justin Baldoni. I'm Justin Baldoni. It's almost a no-win for Taylor, but the right move is definitely to yeah. It's yeah, Taylor got dragged into it, right? Anyway, just by virtue of being friends with her and a godmother, but oh my God, Nat. Is that a typo? Anyone who's been on the lives in our Patreon community, my friends here, we talk about Hugh Jackman, I think in every single live that we discuss and the Hugh Jackman moves. So what's going to happen to Hugh Jackman? I noticed that he canceled his show in the UK, but never gave the reason why. And I wanted to know the reason why, because if it was a legitimate reason why, I think he said scheduling conflict, but I don't know. Whenever an artist cancels without an excuse and without the reschedule, I'm sus. Hugh Jackman is like Taylor Swift in all this. He does not. He's getting the reputational shellac of this as well. So and Hugh Jackman, who are my people here, my people on my lives, my weeklies. We've talked about this a lot. He is walking a tightrope reputationally in terms of what's going on in his life. So there's just a narrative out there about Hugh Jackman that he's been trying to keep at bay. So he's doing a lot right now because he's divorced. He's spending time with Sutton Foster. So I think we're going to see Hugh Jackman take a step back. Okay, that's what I see. Avoiding conflict often results in conflict. Yes, but I avoid conflict. Two Angry Men podcast was good on this. JB Lawyer will eat them up in deposition. Mark correctly said he rose the Titanic. What does that mean? What does that mean? I love that. Have you seen the Deadpool movie in its entirety? They troll just in the entirety. Okay. No, because I don't like Ryan Reynolds. I could not sit and watch Ryan Reynolds that long. I can't. The Ryan Reynolds quip. No. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I know. So, well, it's not SA, it's harassment, which falls under the human resources end of it. So it's not Justin the man, it's Justin head of Wayfair. So it's an HR problem. Why you don't think this will hurt? Oh, I know it will hurt them. Not only will it hurt Ryan and Blake, it has hurt Ryan and Blake greatly. The stink will be on them for a long time. I'm just saying it's not like going to make their careers crash and burn. It's not like they're going to go away forever. No, it's not going to be anything like that. They'll still have their career, but they just have to shift their persona, and it's going to be hard because no one is going to buy into them as much as they did before. That's what I think personally. So, so here we have, I love that you said this and you're bringing this up. So Will Smith is a perfect example here. Okay. So thank you, Stephanie, for bringing this up. So Will Smith, if you remember how many years ago, someone's going to Google it for me and tell me 4, 5, when the Oscars, Chris Rock at the Oscars, boom. Oh my gosh. I remember doing a podcast like that night on it because I was like, what the hell? And so Will Smith and this is still when we were in a cancel culture mindset. But it was hard, right? Because he was talking about Chris Rock saying something about his wife. So he's defending his wife. And at the time, Will Smith, I think, was still in the persona of the Williams sisters' father, and he just went too far. And then he faced the consequence. So Will Smith took the public beating. He took the reputational beating. He took the news beating. He took the consequence of the academy and was banned. So he took all that. So he had to be sidelined. And now he can creep back because public opinion loves a crash and burn. Like they love a breakdown, but they also love to bring people back up. And so does the press. They love that. So that's why I think Will Smith, because Will Smith is paying his dues. Okay. Hey, Jared. Curious if you think BLR will have to go away for a while, much like Will Smith. Oh, yeah. I 100%, Jared, right? You're a PR guy. Wouldn't you if you were working with them? Yeah, they're going to have to go away. They're 100%. Someone on here just said that their International Movie Database, IMDb, Blake has a lot of things coming up. And so they have things happening there. Definitely. But you're not going to see a lot of this, like media interviews. And if there are media interviews, they're going to be heavily contained and monitored. Like you can't talk about blah, 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 blah. But also like Blake won't be able to roll out anything like her hair care. Like it's going to affect them. Like what's at stake usually, like with reputation, what's at stake is money. That's what you lose is money. That's what it comes down to, money. You're not going to get the parts that you want. Blake Lively's not going to get the price point that she wants. It's just going to cost them. There's a cost to a bad reputation, and I think they're going to find it. Right? Yeah, everyone loves a comeback. They'll come back. They'll come back. Imagine a divorced Blake Lively. That's okay. Thoughts on Candace? Okay. So all of a sudden I'm getting comments and people telling me like, oh, that they agree with Molly and Candace. Like the only two people I follow about this are Molly and Candace Owens. And I went, what? I'm sorry. I never thought the day that my name would be in the same sentence as Candace Owens. What? And then Candace, I saw one of her lives. She said exactly what I was saying, but she has an insider. I had insiders as well. But I also was saying mine from the very beginning, but it just means we're hearing the same stories. She's got a big platform. And also, Candace is learning, Miss Right Wing, what it's like to kind of grab the algorithm and click the algorithm. When you do watch Candace Owens, it's funny because her producer is telling her everything. Like this is her producer's idea. And she's reading a script the entire time. Like I'd like to say, and I don't want to knock Candace Owens, on her coverage on this, because I mean, I guess she's been doing a great job, but could she talk off script about it? I don't know. But I'm just going to say, I'm not a fan. You're not going to see Candace Owens in my algorithm. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I scheduled this at the last minute and I know it's during the workday. It's my Friday afternoon news dump. But thank you for joining and stick around, subscribe for more because we're going to have these all the time now. I can't even, we can't, I'm not even, let's stop talking about Candace Owens right now because we are not going to fill our chat with Candace Owens stuff. We're not going to grab the internet on this one, the algorithm. Okay. Oh, yes. Well, let me just say this real quick. Are heavily produced. I've never watched her because I think she's horrible, but it's interesting to see. Okay. I will admit when everybody was mentioning Candace Owens to me, I was like, what the heck? Why is she talking about this? So then I started watching it a little and I only watched it enough just to get what was going on. And one, I again, like I said, reading from a script. I mean, she has a teleprompter there. I think her producer, because at one point something wasn't on the script and she didn't have the recall for it, which meant I don't think she knew it. So I think it was her producer's idea to say, hey, let's talk about something everyone's talking about. You'll get subscribers. You'll get this. You'll get this. I mean, classic algorithm grab. So if we want to do, okay. So Jody, we'll do this. Let's just talk about Travis for a bit. We're headed into the Super Bowl, y'all. That's on Sunday. It's the Caesars Superdome. And they already had the media day for the Super Bowl. Travis was asked about Trump. Anyone from KC knows, I know, just from doing a lot of work there, you're going to get, the farther south you go, you're going to get more conservative. Okay. Kansas is heavily conservative. The Kansas City Chiefs owned the Bush family, uh, Hunt, conservative, extremely. Butker, remember his address to the Catholic College, the Benedictine College, where women were told to be women, basically just go into the kitchen and have babies. So Travis has to play it. He's got to play it both ways, just like Taylor. It's tough for Taylor because Taylor comes out, in support of kind of everyone, like she has to be more human, whereas Travis, as a guy football player, can kind of get away with kind of responses because people don't hang on Travis's words as much as they hang on Taylor. If Taylor says something, she's got to pay for it. You know what I mean? No matter what comes out of Taylor's mouth or in a documentary or whatever, there's going to be a reverberation for Taylor Swift. So that's why it's more difficult for Taylor Swift to speak out. It really is. And she doesn't want to alienate her fans. So I never blame Taylor Swift for not coming out. Like everyone was saying, why isn't she supporting Kamala? One, her family is conservative. She's a Tennessee girl. I mean, transplanted, but she doesn't want to alienate half her audience. And you can understand that. You can understand that. For Travis, he was walking the line too. He was definitely walking the line there with his Trump comments. But he's going to walk away. He's got football to fall back on. And really, not that many people are asking football players what they think about, because many times people don't care what football players think. Okay, let me go back to this comment real quick. I think this is going to hurt Blake's career immensely, and I can't see her coming back from that. Okay, all right. I mean, I appreciate your comment. I definitely think it's going to be a massive hit. There's no doubt about it. But I think if Blake Lively, and I said Taylor, I meant Blake Lively. I think if Blake Lively starts to open up, if Blake Lively gets a divorce, then she will get her career back because then she can tell the story. And then it's a redemption story because then she's a victim. Mark my words. Thank you, Swifty. I appreciate the comment. Candace made her team watch parts of the movies. She may know a few things. Yes. Based on what I saw, she knows a few things. Yeah. So Travis, to me, that's walking the line. He walked right down the middle with Trump. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? Because he can't come out against President Trump. He can't. The man was elected. He was elected. Oh, can we talk about this for a moment? Jack Schlossberg. Herb. I've been following Jack for a long time, but I've been watching him, and the algorithm has been feeding me information since he broke up with his girlfriend and since he got dumped. And he's been he's been sad. Like I don't know if you saw the post when he was dumped. Oh, but he was so heartbroken. And then, I thought, watching Jack Schlossberg, I thought, okay, this is a brand. Like if he wanted to follow in his uncle or his grandfather's footsteps, this is a definitely roundabout way of doing it. But I thought that Jack was of the time, of the moment. And I thought, and he just genuinely does seem like a quirky person. Like that's who he is. But it sounds like, he got taken down for a reason. Either he took himself down because it was too much, or he was just talking so much about his brother, or maybe he said stuff. Maybe there's legal complications there. Maybe there was a cease and desist. Who knows? Maybe his mom just said, Jack, just go off right now for a bit because, hey, you, Janice, good to hear from you. Thank you so much. Maybe the family's just looking out for him. I don't know. Neither, but more so not rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm kind of over them. I'm sorry. I'm a Vikings fan, and I'm really upset about the Vikings. Simone, I'll give you your Eagles. Huh. Okay. Wow, you guys. So we have 13 more minutes. He had a strange back and forth with Megyn Kelly. He did. Yes. Yeah. God, I'm not a fan of Megyn Kelly. There's a big content creator. This was maybe a year ago. You guys would all know who they are. It's someone who I'm friendly with, but they asked me, they said, Megyn Kelly is reaching out for me to do her show. And I said, do you want to keep your female followers? Then don't do that. Sarah, you Vikings fan? Rebecca, you didn't even know there was a Super Bowl this weekend. Don't tell the NFL. With 4 kids and a career on the low end, I don't think she'll get a divorce. Well, you know what, Carol? I respect her. I respect that. I do. But you're talking to a woman with 4 kids, pandemic. So as a public speaker and trainer who lost all my business, the pandemic hit in March. I think I lost all my business by April. And I that's when I got my divorce. So sometimes when you're done, you're done. There's no neutrality in politics today. If you're scared to go against Nazis, you're a Nazi, period. Kelsey is a weak punk. Okay, so tell me more there. So was he asked to speak about Elon Musk? I don't want to go political. That's funny, Adam. That makes me laugh. Okay. How do you think the court case will go? If we're talking about Blake and Ryan and Justin, and Ryan is in it, and everybody else, because there's a lot of cases in there, a lot of people. I think it would be impossible for Blake and Ryan to go to trial, unless Ryan is so delusional that he's going to win, and he's just going to say, I can't admit fault in this. It would be a massive problem if they did. Do you mean Jack Schlossberg? Yeah, his satire went into the reel. I don't think saying you're focusing on football seems one side. Seems honest and justified. So, Stephanie, are you talking about Taylor Swift? If you're talking about Taylor Swift, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. They're saying it's because of RFK. Yeah, see, the timing. See, in PR, everybody, if I want to be known for anything in PR, it's this. Here's the PR breakdown. Every PR kerfuffle that you see. So whether it's an issue or crisis, full blown, someone in the headlines, celebrity, just day to day, even in your own life, the answer always lies in the timing. Always. Always. Look to the timing. I promise you. Jack Schlossberg coming down in the days before RFK is waiting to be, is it nominated, selected, picked, approved to be, oh my God, I can't even say it. I can't even say it because RFK Jr. Crazy. I would suspect that's what it is, that RFK Jr. issued a cease and desist because he was waiting for that nomination. And and then Caroline just said, just come down for a bit, please. And instead of going in, because also if you delete posts, if you go in and delete posts, then everybody knows you deleted it and it starts a thing. So maybe they demanded that he take it down and he'll come back. We'll see though, right? We'll see. What do you guys think? She will get a divorce, maybe. You're saying guarantee. I think so too. Can I tell you? I'm with you too. I think she is too. May not come soon, but it's coming. Oh my God. I saw this. The deporting Prince Harry. Oh my gosh. I can't even, let's not trigger the algorithm. It's a great question because I saw the same thing. We don't want to trigger the algorithm on this one, but oh my gosh. I wouldn't put it past him because all he's doing right now is flooding the zone with as much chaos as he can. That's what's happening right now. I don't know what the question is, but that's the answer. I don't know what your question is, but that is the answer. Yes, she is. 100%. You don't have to dig that far. So she has publicly distanced herself from saying anything about him, but Scarlett Johansson has definitely said things about Ryan Reynolds. Definitely. Yeah, exactly. I think this tells you exactly what it is. What was it, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, when Blake Lively's brother-in-law came out and said he was sorry? Mhm. That should tell you something. Um, I bet a lot of people would say that, right? They'd rather watch the Grammys. Let's see. Drake, I'm speaking in Canada at the Canadian version of South by Southwest in May. And the organizers wanted to talk about PR because it's tied in with Sony Music too. And so there's a huge musical element. And Bryan Adams is going to be there. And when they started talking about that, I said, is Alanis Morissette going to be there? I said, I want to interview Alanis Morissette. I want to interview Alanis Morissette. And this conversation happened. Oh my gosh, this conversation happened one day before the whole Blake Lively thing blew up. That's so funny. I didn't even make that connection. I hope they come back to me and they let me talk to her. I'd be thrilled. Oh my gosh, we got to wrap up. Yes. Oh, seriously? Is that where you work? Is that where you work? Um, Timing makes sense. People are waiting for the amended complaint from Blake's lawyer, but this weekend with the Super Bowl, nope. Yeah. Well, it depends. If Blake does not want you, so everybody, it's Friday, February 7th. It's almost 4 p.m. Eastern time. Prime Friday news dump. And also, when news dumps happen over big events, Blake Lively, Friday news dump with the civil complaint right before Christmas. Joe Jonas, Friday news dump, Labor Day weekend. We had the Super Bowl on Sunday. So look for Friday news dumps. Look for Ryan, Blake, and Taylor and what they're doing over this weekend. Taylor Swift is a classic news dump. She didn't do it on Friday, or it started yesterday with TMZ and then TMZ updated it today. They wanted it to be swallowed by Taylor at the Super Bowl. 100%, mark my words. So maybe if Blake's lawyer is going to do something, it might be this weekend because they don't have a strong case or something. That's my prediction. It will either be kind of nothing because they have nothing, or it will be something because they have nothing. That's my prediction. Thank you. Thank you. This was a correction cut from a bad cut, and I love it. This needs to be said. That is true in these towns too. Absolutely. I know the maximum effort, Linda, great point. Thank you. And also Ryan Reynolds came in, that's how he inserted himself during the premiere. Like, did you guys watch? Do you guys remember seeing the Ryan Reynolds YouTube video where his mom came in there and interviewing the co-star? What's his name? Sklar. Oh, just he's so filled with himself. Ugh. Okay. All right, you guys. So we are wrapping up. I know. If I get a chance to meet Bryan Adams, I can only stay at this Canadian conference for a day because my daughter's graduating from Loyola Chicago. So I'm only going to appear on the first day, but you best believe I am going to walk myself over to Bryan Adams. Chicken wings, hot dish. It's not a hot dish. I am making my homemade chicken wings. Oh, is that true? Colin Joe said that? Interesting. Interesting. All right. Okay. All right, you guys. This has been amazing. Yeah, the blurs. Awesome. No, I can't. I can't. I won't. I will not. I'm a Patriots household, but I grew up a Vikings fan, and my heart is with the Vikings. And you will never. Oops, you got me, Danielle. But this is what it was. I can't say fly. I can't. I can't. I can't. But I want them to win over the Chiefs. That I will say. Um, Really? Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Mine did club. She was going to play college and soccer, and she was getting lots of money. And then she said, "Mom, I don't want to play college and soccer." And I went, I went, it's the pandemic, and your mom has no money because she lost all her money due to the pandemic. All right, you guys. This was awesome. This was fantastic. So go back to work, Herb. All of you go back to work if you have to. Sorry if you're Herb, aren't you a federal employee? You didn't take the retirement package. All right, everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it right now. This was great. Loved you guys being here. There will be more of this. So my Patreon is closing at the end of the month. I'm switching to Substack. You can find me on Substack, the PR breakdown on Substack. If you become a member, you're going to get access to archival footage, also the new Ask Molly segment. You'll be able to comment on all the posts, and then a lot of run-on sentences there. But look for these links. These are going to be open on YouTube, so definitely follow my YouTube. Become a subscriber on YouTube, and then you'll see lives pop up. I'll schedule them in advance, and then you can know, and you can sign on to be notified. So you guys, this is the next version. Oh, Cynthia, I'm glad it worked on your lunch break. You guys, I had a great time. I hope you're getting rich now. I want to be Ryan Reynolds rich. No, I'm not. I do it for the love of doing this. Oh, you're down in Australia, Tara. I have so many Australian TV programs asking me to do all these hits, and I had to turn them all down. It's just timing. Just hit all notifications, Em. Thank you so much. All right, you guys, this was awesome. Everyone have a great Friday. For people in the Northeast, it's cold. It's damn cold. Hope you all enjoyed the Super Bowl if you're watching it. And we'll see you again. Dr. Abby coming in February. And if my schedule still sets, I think I'm having Benjamin, the flirt coach. He's going to be on. We're going to do a Valentine's Day live. And that will be in February 12th, I believe. But I'll let you guys know. All right, you guys. Bye for now. It was fun. Bye.